Hello and welcome back to Starfield. Last time we did the Infinity Ltd infiltration. We got promoted to senior operative. And now I think it's time to talk to Imogen and see what she has to say now that she's back at the office. Ularu has been fired. And we are basically unstoppable. That's my assessment of the situation. Nothing could ever go wrong from here on out. Hey, Imogen.
You've certainly shaken things up around here.
Thanks.
I still can't believe Ularu tried to frame me. An obvious misjudgment on my part.
Yeah.
But now that's all in the past. It's time to get back to your typical day-to-day.
Really? Right back to work?
Of course. If you think anyone here believes in downtime, forget it.
Yeah. Good to see you back in the office, Imogen.
And I'd say it's good to be back if I hadn't returned to a mountain of paperwork. Now, since you were new, you've been dealing with people, but most of our assignments are generated on the mission board. The board holds any available assignments that our techs have pieced together, and I've approved. Questions?
What kind of assignments are these?
Nothing you aren't already familiar with. You experienced the majority of what we do here during your training, if you recall. Uploading a few files, manipulating a narrative or two, obtaining schematics, it's just more of the same.
What's a mission board?
Well, after this conversation, you can head up to your office and see for yourself. Just think of it as
we have an office now.
computer that lets you pick and choose your assignments at will, rather than having to deal with me all the time.
So I don't get to deal with you anymore?
No, but try to see that as an improvement, since I certainly do. The mission board is more efficient for both of us. Good. The mission board is generally self-explanatory anyway. With your promotion, you've earned yourself an office, so whenever you're ready, you can find your own personal mission board inside. And the best perk of them all, you're free to make your own hours. Oh, and congratulations, of course.
Thanks. Can I access the mission board outside of Ryujin Tower?
No, only within the tower. The security risk would be far too much to allow access to that data in a public space.
Got it. Thanks.
We certainly will. Go check out the board, and if you have any questions, I suppose I can start up an open door policy. Just for you.
Very nice. This our office? Okay, got a nice little office. Some digipics, always like to see that. Ooh, we got here. Assassin calibrator ion. Credits. Very nice. That. Okay, and here we could sabotage Hope Tech. Okay, that's pretty cool. Oh, did I not pick up the munition? But I think we have plenty of other stuff to do. That's also important. Oh, we have to talk to our companions. That's certainly what we have to do. We're trying to look for another power. We're looking for more artifacts. Then we do have the Freestar Collective mission. Actually, I did decrypt it. Oh yeah, we have to go to the factory. Maybe we'll do that next. Or we just kind of take care of these two quests that we picked up. I think this one we got through like a random comm in space, and this one we picked up when we were at the Lunar station, kind of in the very beginning. So let's do that first, then do the ground pounder quest, and then I go from there. We had level 30. Let's jump over there.
Greetings, pilot. This is Jiro Sugiyama, head of Paradiso Security.
Okay.
I apologize for coming over this emergency channel, but we are in need of assistance concerning the large ship in orbit, and we value discretion in this matter.
Okay.
If you are willing and able, please see me as soon as possible at the main security office in Paradiso. Over and out.
What would that be? Armor 2. Paradiso. Okay, let's check it out. I mean, there's something that we stumbled upon. Can always happen. Let's see if it is actually a Paradiso.
Everything checks out. Landing initiated.
Right. Head up. I want to check
You have my attention.
what I can put in my storage. We've got a bunch of weapons that we picked up. So, cutter. Elon can go. It's a pistol. Huh. Arrow. Let go of the helmet. I kind of like that operative uniform. It's badass. There's anything here? Oh.
Let's get out there and do something new today, shall we?
Actually, they wanted to talk
Of
to
all
me
the
anyway.
places in the galaxy, only Neon can make me feel so damn oily.
Oily.
And you dealt with its absolute worst. Ryujin, Infinity LTD, all of it.
Oh, they
You
comment
all
on the
right?
quest.
That was a lot.
Being on the streets, I always wondered what it was like living the good life. Not as good as I pictured.
Guess anywhere is better than slumming in an Epside. Even this. How come no matter how advanced society gets, we still just can't help coming up with new horrors to inflict on ourselves? Mechs, xeno-warfare, and now this neuroamp tech. Swear it's the worst yet. And you just let them keep working on it.
Is their tech really as bad as the others?
It's worse, far worse. The other tech is capable of untold destruction, but with the neuroamp, they can take away your very body. They can make you do any damn thing they want. I can't think of anything more terrifying.
It marches on no matter what we do.
Well, that's a cheery thought. It's true, but with a piece of work like Ryujin, I know there isn't a good person to put in charge. I mean, I guess Masako's better than Ularu Chen,
Yeah.
but you just know if violence or being just plain evil was the path of least resistance, then Masako would pick it same as Ularu.
Yeah. Yeah, she was the least bad choice, I think.
You're right. I know you're right. Well, the whole damned affair is over. Thank God.
Hey,
A brief history of
not
time.
necessarily
If you find any addition,
a lot of
any at
approval
all,
there,
I will
but
be your friend like forever.
Neon. You think it would be peaceful with all those calm waters and beautiful sunsets. But I can't think of any town that's more stressful. Ryujin, Infinity LTD, and there you were, navigating corporate bureaucracy like a professional.
guess so. easy to handle when I don't need the money.
Humanity went to the stars and explored new worlds. And some still ended up sitting at desks all day long. Not sure if I should laugh or cry. Look, I know Neon is going to be Neon, no matter what any of us do about it. But you just let them keep working on that neural amp tech? Really?
What am I supposed to do? I don't have to justify my actions to you.
No, you don't. I was just hoping you'd have any kind of reason that wouldn't disappoint. I don't know why. But if the bottom line is money, then this isn't going to benefit them. It'll be used to dominate them.
That's an exaggeration.
You're really that naive? I don't even know what to say. Maybe there's nothing to say about it. We'll just have to wait and see what happens now. Anyway, not that I care a ton about the internal politics of some ethically dubious megacorp, but... So, Masako, huh? I mean, between her and Ularu Chen, I get it, but you don't trust her, do you?
No, of course not. I didn't trust any of them.
Well, I trust you, and I'm glad the choice was yours and not mine.
Sam, what are you doing?
Anyway, you didn't happen to pick up any investment tips while you were in there? Just kidding. I don't even want to know.
I'm up for a little adventure.
Well, that's why you just put yourself into the frame. Where's Andreja? Oh, she's just sitting here. Oh, in the dark? No, that's Barrett. Where's Andreja? There.
What is it?
Hey.
I suppose now you can add climbing the corporate ladder to your list of accomplishments. I must ask, though, are you not at all concerned with where future neuroamp research might lead?
So you have concerns about it?
Perhaps, but I believe I asked you for your thoughts first.
Well, if they don't continue the work, someone else will.
That seems like quite a pessimistic outlook.
Oh, but, I mean, we've seen it with, yeah, exactly. We saw what Infinity was up to. This stops that kind of experimentation, at least.
For now, perhaps. Who is to say Ryujin will not conduct their own immoral experiments at some point?
Nobody is to say, but I mean, everyone is terrible. All of these companies are terrible, and we've at the very least seen proof that Infinity Ltd is willing to do it right now. It's not about morals, it's about survival.
I do not believe we can only choose one or the other. And what happens when Ryujin falls prey to the same tactics it has employed and loses control of this technology?
How do you know that's going to happen?
With all that you have seen, and indeed done, in reaching this point, why would you believe it is not?
There's only so much we can do.
So you just walk away and let someone else worry about it. I see.
Jesus.
I appreciate your explanation, but I find your decision here to be lacking. I expected more, I think. Still, thank you for talking it over.
Okay. Wow. Maybe I should travel alone. I don't really feel supported by my team here. Paradiso. Ooh, look at this. It might actually be a Paradiso. That's interesting. Take a picture of Paradiso. That Space Vegas?
Don't worry about us. We're just here to keep the peace.
Oh. Got a big old ship in space.
We try to stay out of our guests' way, but we're always here if needed.
Hey, Chief Sugiyama.
Welcome to Paradiso. Jiro Sugiyama at your service. Do you have a security concern, or is there something else I can help you with?
You asked me to come here. What sort of trouble do you run into at a resort?
Honestly, it's not as exciting as you might think most of the time. More often than not, we're just handling drunk and disorderly conduct. Heck, even pirates leave us alone for the most part. I think it's because some of them actually vacation here.
Oh.
As long as they're not bothering anyone, we've been told not to worry about them.
Okay. Is Paradiso Security affiliated with the UC or Freestar Collective?
Neither. We're our own private force. The Paradiso group pays top dollar for top-notch security.
Okay.
And I dare say we're some of the best in the business. We have to be out here on the fringes of the settled systems.
I'm here about the distress call you sent.
Ah, yes, of course. I'm glad you came. As you can imagine, we're in a bit of a predicament. Under normal circumstances, we would not enlist outside help in this manner. But this is a matter we can't afford to worry our guests about. As such, we need to handle this discreetly. Failure on your part to do so could have severe consequences. So, before we proceed, can you swear not to discuss this with anyone else unless explicitly directed to do so?
We used to some confidential work. You're not in the UC or Freestar jurisdiction. How bad could the punishment be?
You're right. We're not. Which means we're not bound by anyone's laws but our own. In other words, it's our system and our rules. Neither the UC nor the Freestar Collective will help you if you get into trouble here.
Okay, got it. Understood, swear it. Let me know what you need me to do.
Great. I appreciate it. Not too long ago, a strange and enormous ship appeared in Parima space. It is now locked in orbit around our planet. So far, it doesn't seem to be hostile, but any attempts to communicate with it have been in vain, so we're unsure of the ship's intentions.
Okay, so what kind of ship is it?
It bears no discernible markings or allegiances to any manufacturers we're aware of.
Could be
Hoping that doesn't
Starborn?
mean we're dealing with some sort of new deep space threat.
So they didn't respond to communications?
Not quite. It took some time, but we received a transmission. It was all, pardon the phrasing, it sounded almost alien, like nothing anyone's heard before. Clicks, distorted groans, buzzing, really disturbing sounds.
Could just a
One of our
space orgy.
engineers says it could just be some busted comm equipment or incompatible signals, but we're not sure. So far, no one's disembarked from the ship. No landing craft, nothing. We don't have the staff or ships to spare, otherwise we'd dock with it and attempt to board.
Okay, so what do you think we're dealing with?
Can't say for sure. Looks worn, but not cobbled together like a Crimson Fleet junker. Others have been saying it's some new Varun design, a gigantic battleship with hidden armaments preparing for assault, but that doesn't check out either. There's also been talk about non-human sentient life. The comms data we received might support that, but humanity's spread far and wide and no one's ever encountered anything like that. Still, first contact. Could you imagine?
Okay. Seems like a delicate situation. Go on.
It is. Whatever's going on, we need to approach this with care. First, see if you have more luck communicating with them. If not, you may have to try boarding. Whatever you do, it's important to remember to seek diplomacy with who or whatever's on board. As soon as you have any more information, report to Oliver Campbell. He's the CEO of Paradiso. All formal decisions will need to go through him, and he'll have your pay. Good luck.
Okay. Sounds ominous, to be honest, but can check it out. Check out the resort. That's an enhanced clinic. There's a chunks.
My shoes again. Oh, I mean, hi.
Hi there.
Channel greeter. Alright.
Every day's nice around here.
Tranquility.
But I think you chorus are one of the nicest.
Interesting. We might want to check this place out a little more in detail, but I guess let's check out the ship. Wait, is this... This is where our settlement is? Where we found the temple? I think so, right? Just check. We'll have that ship. Crew. Current outpost. The Procyon 3. Wasn't Procyon, Ormo. Honor to be. Definitely have been on there, but I don't remember what we did there. Anyway. Let's see. Sorry, you're breaking up. Can you try a different channel? Could you repeat that? Hello? Yeah, I don't think this is working. I'm going to attempt a docking procedure. We can talk on the board. Oh boy. Maybe we're dealing with a router. Old school router. Could be.
We're docked.
Let's board. The ship's captain.
Stay alert.
You're human.
Wait, what are you?
Oh, we're human. From the planet Earth in the Sol system.
Okay. Nope, can't you see? I'm actually a weird, scary monster with tentacles.
Clearly you're not. You're obviously human, but how are you here? We didn't know any others left Earth.
Perhaps we should greet our guests.
Of course. Manners. I'm Captain Diana Brackenridge. This is Security Officer Bomani Reader.
Oh.
And this is Dr. Mabuti da Costa, one of our elders.
A pleasure to meet you.
Sounds like they are... like they left Earth originally during the Exodus, but obviously it's way
You've come aboard the Earth
past
colony
that.
ship Constant. Generations ago, we set forth from the planet Earth with the mission of colonizing a new habitable world in the spirit of our ancestors nearly a millennium ago.
Well, I'm Scylla.
I see. As you may have presumed, we're in a bit of a bind. Our ship has finally completed its near 200-year journey from Earth, only to find our new home seemingly colonized by... well, we don't know. Communications haven't been successful, so your arrival is fortuitous. Perhaps you'd be willing to act as a middle person between ourselves and... the others.
Okay, so... bunch of questions. So your communication didn't work. Why is that?
We're not entirely sure. Our engineers believe it's possible that our technology just isn't compatible with theirs. All we hear when using them to communicate with anyone is a bunch of disturbing noise. It gave me the heebie-jeebies at first.
How did you all survive 200 years?
Well, the short answer is we didn't. It's a generation ship, which is to say that most of us lived long, happy lives on board and passed our mission down to our children. It was never intended that the original crew would make it to our destination. The goal was always the preservation of the human race above all else. Though it would seem that was perhaps a bit presumptuous.
Okay, so you know about the people on the surface?
We do. Well, sort of. We saw structures using our surveying equipment. We've also seen the various ships pass us by. Some even seemed to want to communicate, but couldn't. Of course, we had no idea that they were being piloted by other humans.
Hey, incredible. 200 years. How did it take so long for you to get here?
Ah, your question confirms one of our recent theories. It would seem that some form of faster-than-light travel or space-bending technology was invented during our long journey. That would explain why we would find people this far out into space. I guess technology leapfrogged us at some point. Interesting.
That is fascinating.
I can only imagine that our predecessors didn't believe the technology would ever work, and so they made the decision to leave when they did.
Okay. I'd love to know more, but maybe we should get away from this airlock first.
Oh yes, of course. Where are my manners? Now then, please follow me. There's much to discuss first. We'll speak more on the matter once we reach the bridge.
Okay, this is a strange situation, but very, very interesting.
Dr. DaCosta, you may return to your quarters if you wish.
Thank you, Captain.
I will follow you to the bridge, ma'am, for security purposes.
I do not believe we have need to fear our guest, but I'll allow it if you insist. Welcome to the Earth colony ship Constant. In the early 2100s, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, researched a number of scientific scenarios: climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic, and more. Each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction-level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened.
We were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship.
Built the Constant, and set a course for this planet here. We were told that it was the largest, most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time. If you can believe, entire generations have been born, lived, and died on this ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
Guess so.
I've never seen a ship like yours before. Well, then again, I haven't seen any ships before you arrived.
Check out the office.
Now that we know what's out there, things are going to be more interesting from here on out.
So, here we are. Let's talk.
Okay.
I didn't believe anyone would be out here, but I'm glad for it.
So how long have you been captain?
I think I'm coming up on 6 years now. I was only a teenager when my father died, passing command of the ship to me, as is tradition. Because of that, I've had to sort of learn as I go along, instead of taking years of study and apprenticeship under the prior captain. I think some people on the ship resent me for not having the level of experience as my predecessors. But at the same time, without my command, we likely wouldn't have made it here so quickly.
Okay, so how's your crew holding up?
A bit frazzled, as you can imagine. People are anxious about discovering that we're not alone, and also worried about what will come to pass. While we hope we can work out a deal with the people on the surface, they seem reluctant to reach out, so there's no telling what will come of that. I do know that we can't afford to stay here in orbit forever. The ship was built to sustain us for many years with backup provisions just in case, but even that will come to an end eventually.
Okay. Is it difficult being captain for a colony ship?
Difficult is the wrong word. It can be both challenging at times and also exciting. Our mission was to rebuild humanity on a distant world, believing that we were Earth's last hope. To think that while there has always been a Brackenridge in the captain's chair, that I am the one to finally oversee our journey's end is truly exhilarating. But with this stumbling block in our path, at this final moment, I fear tough choices will need to be made.
Okay, so it sounds like you could use some help with your situation here.
Well, as I mentioned, we've been unsuccessful in communications with anyone up until you arrived, though not for lack of trying. But since you're asking, maybe you'd be willing to be a sort of diplomat between us and them as we attempt to resolve our situation. Does that sound agreeable to you?
Sure. So what's wrong with your communication system?
We suspect that our equipment is woefully obsolete compared to whatever you all have now. In all honesty, we never expected to need to communicate with anyone, so our comms aren't particularly robust. That limits our options. We even attempted communicating with lights and sounds, something we saw in an old movie, but I don't believe they picked up on it. If anything, it may have inadvertently alarmed them.
I think that's what happened. Well, the people in Paradiso want the same. I'll help.
Ah, so they have a name. Paradiso.
It's a
and
resort.
It sounds promising that they sent you here to speak with us. You see, we intended to settle here, but we assumed that they intend to defend their claim given their presence here. We'd like you to go speak to them on our behalf and help us negotiate a solution, preferably one that favors us.
Oh, why not just find another planet?
Based on the data our ancestors had when they launched this endeavor, it was determined that this was the perfect planet for us. Even if we had another viable candidate planet, we lack the resources to get there. And as you know, it took us 200 years to get here. Our people have no desire to go back to drifting the stars so their children's children can possibly settle on an inferior planet.
That's fair. If you had a claim to this planet, how could others settle here?
When we left Earth, there were no claims to planets this far out into space. We had assumed that we were the only ones attempting a generational journey such as this, meaning that there would be no need for a formal claims process. Regardless, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, did manage to file a charter for this planet's first colony, to be named New Jamestown. According to his records, no one took it seriously when he filed it, so likely it was either ignored or the records were lost to the ages. Given humanity's lack of interest in colonizing the far reaches of space at the time, it shouldn't have been a problem. But again, here we are now.
Okay. I'll try it, but diplomacy may require compromise.
Yes, of course. But we need to start from a firm position and state our goal. If need be, we can compromise, work out a mutually beneficial deal or some such. But initially, I'd like you to be firm with them and convince them to leave the planet to us. Let me know how they respond, and we'll go from there.
I doubt that will happen. Arma 2 is huge. Why not just settle on the other side of it, away from the others?
We thought about it, but it simply won't do. I need to think about the distant future of our people. Sure, our first settlement may be small, but our predecessors dreamt of our new civilization spreading across the globe. That will be difficult if someone else plans to do the same. While we're not completely close to the idea of sharing, it's much easier if we have complete domain over this world.
I mean, that's a little greedy. Are you out of your mind? They'll never go for that.
I'm serious. We have a rightful claim to this land, and I intend to fight for it. But as you're currently our only hope, perhaps you'll honor my request and give it your all, for the sake of some very weary travelers who have come a very long way to be here. Thank you.
I guess... I mean, I don't see that working. And I also don't think it's necessarily fair to be like, okay, we want the entire planet now. Like, I get her point, but at the same time... Rupert Breckenridge. Rupert L. Breckenridge. Boris Breckenridge. Alexander Breckenridge. Diana Breckenridge. Philippa Breckenridge. And Eliza Breckenridge. Philippa looks nice. Well, there we have Jacinda Breckenridge and Matilda Breckenridge.
Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it won't work to take down troublemakers.
Okay. Everyone calm down. Let's talk to Oliver Campbell. Guess I have to
around here.
Enter my ship
strict
first.
For a reason.
Okay. How do we get there? We got the path that we went.
How many times the constant almost came apart at the seams? Whew. But thankfully, I never let it. Boy, am I glad you weren't some sort of alien or something.
And to think all this time, we thought we were alone.
Right now, I'm just lost.
These are exciting times, aren't they?
Tells me to go this way. That's a toilet! Oh no, I'm lost. How did I get this lost? Engineering? Did we go through engineering?
There's so much more to learn about now.
Okay, now we have some pointers. Oh. Oh, okay.
Just stay out of trouble. Careful waving that fancy gun around.
Well, I guess for that negotiation, put on a suit.
We don't need to see what
Well, I can already tell that they won't be very receptive of completely giving up on the planet, the entire planet.
Is there a way to go faster than the speed of light? And none of that grav tech cheating?
Now, you're not pestering the captain, right, Cora?
Pester? You
I'm
think
not.
I'm a pest?
Oh, never. Poor choice of words. You being nice to the crew, too?
Releasing ship from dock.
So this.
Okay. That's land. Didn't expect to stumble into some colonial negotiations.
Hello, and welcome back, Mr. Tofik. I am aware that this is your...
Enjoy your stay, knowing you're in our capable hands.
This is a beautiful planet, though. They get... Could manipulate these. For what?
Don't worry about us. We're just here to keep the peace.
Like, okay. It's evil, but what if I do this and do this? That do
I'm
something?
on vacation because I don't want to be bothered by anyone. Get it?
In fact, I won't do that.
It may be paradise, but that doesn't mean we don't run into trouble from time to time.
Welcome
Well,
to
Paradiso.
Let's
Hope
see.
you're staying safe out there.
Hey, everyone.
I'm just glad I don't work on the luck.
Oh, he's following me now.
Excuse me, you can't just waltz in there. Do you have an appointment?
Well, I kind of do. You have a problem with a ship in orbit. I'm here to help.
Oh, you're the one they're waiting for then.
Yeah.
Do you need anything else from me before you meet with the board?
What can you tell me about the board members?
What I could tell you would get me in a lot of trouble. Most of them are typical C-level execs. I doubt you even need to use your imagination for that. The ones that show up to work day to day, at least. I swear, I've never even met some of them, because they chill at their own private, secluded beach homes all the time. Anyway, be smart around Oliver. He's got a way of getting what he wants without you realizing it. And that's all I'll say.
Okay. What were everyone's thoughts when the ECS constant showed up?
People were a little freaked out around here, understandably. It looks so different and it's so massive. We honestly thought we were under attack by an unknown entity. But then, nothing happened. It just stayed there. No one could communicate with it. And we've been very careful not to alert the resort guests. The board believed it would be bad for business.
Also, couldn't that be kind of what happened with a Starborn? That it's basically humans that colonize a different part of space, then parallel kind of evolved their technology and maybe surpassed us, and that is what the Starborn are? What's it like working for Paradiso?
I can't speak for anyone else, but I've got a pretty high-pressure job working as the executive assistant to the Paradiso board. You can imagine dealing with a team of execs, trying to manage all of their schedules and their other whims. But it pays well, and they give me a nice executive suite at the hotel to live in, so it's not all bad. Free access to all the resort's amenities after work helps too.
Okay. Well, I'm ready to, give me 1 second.
Take care.
I want to, because this is important negotiations. There is something with, like, let's drink a blend just for the fun of these, but actually something for persuasion chat. So 5 minutes. Let's do that. Whoa. Where is she? Ready.
Sure. Have fun.
Let's go.
I
Drunk
just
and
feel that
high
we should
and
be
ready to go.
focusing on the
Loads
natural
more interesting
beauty of
things
this
to do
planet,
outside.
not our
No need to mill about in here.
You operate this resort outside the settled systems, don't you?
Not quite. We just don't answer to the Freestar Collective or the United Colonies. Makes things easier. We don't pay any taxes. We don't need to follow their laws. All the benefits, none of the drawbacks. And no one minds because half the politicians and other big shots love vacationing here. Works for everyone.
Got it. What can you tell me about Paradiso?
We, the Paradiso Group, bought the rights to this planet years ago with the intent of turning it into the biggest and best resort in the universe. To that end, I'd say we've succeeded. As such, no other leisure enterprises may operate on the planet without renting land from us. But as you can see, none can afford such a deal.
Are there really only 3 board members?
No, of course not. There's several more. We're just the ones who show up day to day. The others spend their time lazing on the beach or gallivanting off-world. Doesn't bother me, though. Less cooks in the kitchen means I get to make all the big decisions around here. Seems to be working out for us just fine.
I understand you're the man I need to talk to about the strange ship in our orbit.
And you must be the diplomat Jiro told me about. Welcome, welcome. Normally I'd offer you an all-inclusive stay at our resort before we spoke. But given the circumstances, I'm going to cut to the chase. We've got our friends, the aliens, up there causing all sorts of problems for our resort. You like that? The marketing team came up with it. The thought is, if we can't get rid of them, it might actually attract more tourism. Come see the aliens!
Well, why is this problem so urgent for you?
We run a premier resort getaway here. We can't have our guests concocting stories about some budgy old ship hanging around up there. As it is, we've had to reroute our luxury liners around the other side of the planet on entry so no one sees it. It's bad for business. We need to nip this in the bud and take care of it before the tourists catch on and cause a scene.
Okay, let's just get to the matter at hand.
We're being direct then. Good on you. So, what do you know about this dodgy ship I'm hearing all about?
Well, what would you say if I told you it really was an alien mothership here to destroy the planet?
I'd say you're full of it and might have been watching too many movies. Now, instead of wasting my time, want to tell me what it really is?
Okay. It's a generational ship full of colonists from Earth here after a 200-year journey. Old Earth colonists desperate to settle after 200 years. I'm sure you can exploit that. No, it's a generation ship full of colonists from Earth here after 200 years.
Well, that's something. Shame we can't just tell them kindly to bugger off. something tells me that's not going to work.
True.
Now, tell me, what are we going to do about it? Give me some proposals, people. I need something to work with here.
We could offer to resettle them here. There's more than enough space.
They could stay here, temporarily, but it'll cost them. Quite a bit, too. They'd need to work off all their debts before being
Okay, we're
allowed to
proposing
leave.
slavery. No.
Maybe not. What if we help them get out of here? Outfit their ship with a grav drive so they can find a new home. We could even lend our engineers to help and give their captain an updated star map. What do you think?
That's actually not too bad.
Sounds costly. We can't absorb that cost, and it's unlikely they even have compatible currency, let alone enough for the transaction. Someone else would have to foot the bill.
Oh, I swear this would be a lot easier if they ceased to exist entirely. Anyway, Seema's got the right idea. Either works for me. Just tell me what you want to do.
Well, why can't they just settle on the other side of the planet or something?
We own this planet, they don't. Here at Paradiso, we don't like leaving things to chance. Who knows what these people will do with their land? Imagine the landscaping disasters they might come up with, and how that might mar the satellite imagery of the planet in our brochures. No, much better to assimilate them into our culture if they come here to live, rather than leave it to chance.
These are human beings, and you're worried about landscaping? That's absurd.
Well, absurd or not, that's our official stance. I make the decisions that are best for our entire group. You don't.
Oh, my persuasion thing already wore off. Why can't we just let some other authority handle this?
We operate outside of the Free Stars only, you see, partially because we don't want anyone else meddling in our affairs. And we'd rather not draw attention to it. As I've mentioned, it could be bad for business. We'd much rather settle this independently.
Cease to exist? Are you suggesting I destroy the ship?
I'm not suggesting anything. Other than it would make our lives so much easier if that ship ceased existing. Make of that what you will.
Eats. Wait, why do I have to buy the grav drive?
It's not our responsibility to bear the brunt of that cost. We're being more than generous by offering the use of our engineering team to help install it. A custom grav drive can't come cheap, and I assume they have neither the monetary means nor the connections to get a hold of that kind of technology. That leaves the only other party in this negotiation. You.
So they can live here, but they'd be indentured servants?
Oh, I didn't say that specifically. This would be a mutual contract for room and board in exchange for services rendered. Of course, there's no telling how long this arrangement will last, given the substantial costs we'd need to take on in order to accommodate them here, including their continued room and board. But this may save the resort on operating costs in the long term, as we'd be able to let go of some of our current paid staff.
I think I've made up my mind.
And which proposal will you be taking to the good captain? I assume there's a captain?
Oh, here's the thing. If he would have been reasonable about the, like, we can't just give up the entire planet, like, fine. But basically being like, I mean, if you blow up the ship, that would help. And also, if not, like, we can also turn them into slaves. How about that? Do you like that? I'm not going with them. What if, after all, they continue to insist their claim to this planet predates yours?
They'd be hard-pressed to defend their claim in any courts. Our charter goes back years. It was registered with both the UC and Free Star Collective, per the Centaurus Proclamation. We may be outside the settled systems, but that charter's official as can be. I'm sorry, but you're going to need to be the one to break the news to them that they need to make a compromise or leave.
Hypothetically, what could make a ship like that go away?
I have no idea, because I'm not suggesting anything of the sort. But it's a wonder that old ship made it all the way here in such a relatively short time. Must have really been pushing themselves. An engineer friend of mine told me once that the reactors on those old ships have a tendency to self-destruct if they overload. Of course, their engineers must have taken great care not to push it too far.
Jesus
Someone
Christ.
would likely have to override the safety systems in the reactor computer. But who would do such a thing?
Yeah. Certainly not me. I'll convince them to take the settlement deal. I'll buy the grav drive. So I can't do anything else. Convince them to sell some else.
Good on you. You want to see a man named Benny St. James over at Hope Tech. He's the best in the business. If anyone can retrofit a 200-year-old ship with a modern grav drive, it'd be him. We'll coordinate our engineering team with his when you return, though you may have to help the Constance engineers prepare for it on their end. Good luck. Right. On behalf of the Paradiso group, we appreciate your help.
Here's a, like, okay, didn't have other options, and I'm certainly not selling them into slavery, so
facilities are precisely what we bring to the table.
maybe this way they have the means to travel around space on their own means. Go to Hopta. Although not a fan of these options, but I think giving them the graph drive, everything might be better. We do have a good chunk of money. I might be able to negotiate them down. Anything else to sell here? You.
Hey, look, I got anything
Also, I
you need
wanted to
offload?
check
Trade authority?
something.
Okay, no problem.
Shipbuilder. I wanted to potentially add some additional fuel so I can do longer jumps. Like the biggest ones. It's 60. Doesn't work, but lines with existing. What if so something else? I don't want to take too long here, just create nothing. Okay. That's not great. In that case, we might not be able to do that here. What checking where I could potentially. There's these. Okay, those I could. I'll put it there. More fuel.
Hello.
Let's negotiate here. Maybe we can get a good deal. We've dealt with Hope Tech quite a bit.
I don't want to hear any complaints.
Oh, I think it's that one guy we actually
eye on your
talked to
valuables.
very shortly.
You can't protect your own.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, hello. I'm not used to people wanting to talk to me.
You're an expert with graft drives and other ship parts. I needed to ask for a favor.
Sure, that sounds like me. What can I do for you? I'm a little busy, but I think I could spare some time.
Oliver Campbell sent me. I'm here about a graft drive for an old colony ship. We're all busy. I need to know if you can help put a graft drive on an old colony ship or not. I'll not be rude. Let's not be rude with him.
Oh, you should have just said that. Of course I can help you. Oliver sent a courier ahead of you. I did some research on ships from that era, and I have a decent idea what we're dealing with. So grav drives didn't really take off until after the ship was built.
That much we figured out.
I've got access to an ancient grav drive that looks like it could be compatible. With some minor adjustments. It's in good shape too. Parts not cheap though. Neither is the labor. Just pay the combined cost of parts and labor and it's yours.
40,000? Maybe we can find a lower price.
That's a pretty big ask, given how rare these old grav drives are.
Okay, what do we have? What are you taking from the way? What pay that? Surely the profit you'd make doesn't compare to the freedom you'd be giving these people.
As much as I'd love to, I just don't know if I can afford to take a loss on this. Again, I'm sorry.
We've had that old part for how long, and no one has yet offered to buy it.
True. I keep telling myself I'm holding on to it for the right time. Perhaps this is that right time.
So, news about having these people is bound to spread. You could get a lot of recognition.
Recognition doesn't pay the bills.
God damn it.
Really? Do I want everyone to know that they could sweet talk me out of my fees? No, thank you. You know, I have to make a living too. And Hope Tech can't just give away parts for free. Sorry, but I've got to charge you the same price as everyone else.
Jesus Christ, 40,000, okay.
You're darn right it is. I'll get to work on it right away. I recommend you go back to the ship and ask the captain to prepare for its retrofit. Standard stuff. I'm sure they have an engineer on board to help. We'll send the part along when it's ready and install it with the help of Oliver's people. Pleasure working with you.
A pleasure for me. Go back. Course of the Parima system. Man, that's expensive.
Seals are good, air pressure good, and we're docked.
I won't sabotage the engines. I mean,
now that we know what's out there, things are going to be more interesting.
We're not always squeaky, clean, goody two-shoes, but that might be a little much.
Hey there.
There he is.
I can't tell you how many times I've had to make do with inelegant solutions to complex technical problems. I was hoping to talk to our visitor from outer space, and here you are! Welcome, welcome!
He is pumped.
I have a million burning questions, but I won't overwhelm you. There will be plenty of time for that later. Please, indulge me just a couple. How did you do it? Did humanity finally discover faster-than-light travel and eclipse our poor old ship?
We have a tech called grav drive that allows a ship to bend space.
I knew it. It's incredible! I read about this technology in our archives from Earth, but it was only theoretical back then. Amazing! I'll have to learn more. Oh, I've got so many questions, but I'm being rude. I haven't even given you my name. Chief Engineer Kazemi, but you can call me Amin. And I might add, I'm one of the reasons we're still floating out here today.
I'm solo. There's something else I need to talk to you about, I mean.
Yes, of course. Anything for my new friend.
Okay, so if your predecessors knew about grav drives, why didn't they wait for it instead of setting up?
Ah, great question. I do not know for sure, but I can venture a guess. All of the reading I've done on the matter suggests that at the time, there was uncertainty that the technology would ever work, or if it did, that it would work at the scale we needed. So, I trust they made the decision to strike out when they did, fully believing it was the only way.
So what do you do as a chief engineer?
Some may say I'm a master of keeping things together with nothing but duct tape and bubblegum. Well, if we had any gum left. Pretty sure that ran out 100 years ago. When I'm not dealing with catastrophic engine failures, I manage the other engineers. We maintain all the machinery, computers, you name it. We keep the life support on, and the ship flying.
With a ship this old, do you have any good heroic engineering stories?
Many years ago, when I was a junior engineer, the reactor's computer burned out. The computer that controls the reactor's various regulators. I'll spare you the details, but when that happens, the ship and everyone on it is in danger of turning into a mess of hot slag. I had to jury-rig parts from old media devices to prevent a meltdown. And that's how I became the boss around here.
Okay. I'm supposed to help you prep the ship for the grav drive.
What grav drive? Just joking with you.
Wow, he's
the Paradiso engineers
he's
filled
locked.
me in. Okay, let's see what we need to do. All right, this will be fun, and hopefully there will be no explosions in the process. I have just received word that the drive is here. Ready to get to work?
Ready as can be.
Great, great, great! There are 3 preparations I need you to help me make while I set things up on my end. First thing I need you to do is reroute the power from the port turbo pump to the auxiliary cryogenic radiator. Then, turn the plasma runoff inhibitor function to 5%. Last, you'll need to decouple the magnetic flange pipe enclosures from the auxiliary module assembly.
Do it all the time.
Got it? Let's hop to it!
Okay, I guess.
Wow, I've heard about you, but here you are.
To be used only or under access 50 computers. Nice. What do I do first? Okay. Reroute power from the port turbo pump to the auxiliary cryogenic radiator.
I wonder what else.
What was it again? I forgot it. Forgot it!
Is out.
So, from port turbo pump to auxiliary cryogenic radiator.
Yeah.
Okay. From cryopump port to cryogenic radiator auxiliary. Wait, didn't to cannot complete instruction? What? What?
I wonder what it's like out there, Bill. And our little community.
What? Doesn't work.
People always appreciate a good engineer. whether they know it or not. Something wrong?
Yeah.
There are 3 things we need. Reroute the power from the port turbo pump to the auxiliary cryogenic radiator. Turn the plasma runoff inhibitor function to 5%. Decouple the magnetic flange pipe enclosures from the auxiliary module assembly. Good luck out there!
It didn't work. Use only by... Okay, access route. Which system would you like to divert power from? Oh, turbo pump port. The crowd. That's what it is. Okay. Plasma runoff inhibitor to 5%. Then the last one was decouple the magnetic flange pipe enclosure from the auxiliary module. Which you'd like to adjust. Magnetic flange there. Decouple. Auxiliary module assembly. Okay. Ugh.
Looks like everything is good to go, both your end and mine.
I'm very happy because I was very afraid that I now accidentally blow the ship up.
We were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship.
Hey, Becky.
Now that you're here, I can finally give my crew a chance at a new life.
Got a new graph.
Well, it would appear we have the means to go nearly anywhere now, thanks to you. The engineers even upgraded our communications equipment so we can speak with passing ships. Turns out it was a pretty easy fix.
I'm glad. It was very expensive.
For all you've done.
Where will you go now?
We don't yet know, but we did receive a star map from the Paradiso engineers. I suppose we'll just chart a course for other suitable habitable worlds until we find one that matches the quality of Paradiso. Purima 2 here.
That'll work out.
Without you, we'd most likely be stuck. But you went above and beyond. I'll make sure people tell tales of your generosity for as long as our society lives. I don't know if we can ever fully repay you. Thank you again.
Maybe I will find you, and maybe you have money by then. Gave me 2 baseballs. Great. Fantastic. Right, we're still on the path to do that. First, find our way out of here again.
Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it won't work to take down trouble.
God, I think was this the correct way? I don't know.
Hey,
I messed up again.
Abe. He's been talking about needing some ship.
Let's get out of here, and hopefully we'll find them again. I cook something. Alien scramble. Okay, everyone.
Want to hear a joke?
Sure, Sweet Pea.
I think this is a good time to take a break after we help those colonists, settlers, adventurers, and the next time we will go to more adventures. This one wasn't even planned, just stumbled into it. Very exciting. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please give the video a like, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, share the video with friends, family, and the people on the internet. That all helps me out a whole bunch and will bring you more content in the future. I will be back with more Starfield very soon. Until then, have a great time.